Hey friends, this is the launch of a new project for Lynn and I. We're going to call this Sunday Walks with Jeff and Lynn because we do spend a couple hours every Sunday together, and we're going to explain a little bit why. But there's a couple other reasons why we're doing this. Recently, we've just had a lot of great things in our life happen, right? We've been married 31 years, and we were talking about how the last 2-3 weeks have been the best of our entire marriage. So there's a story behind that, obviously, right? So we're going to share that with you. Also, a friend of ours invited us to be on a... Sorry, there's our dog. See our dog? This is called Sunday Walks with Jeff and Lynn.
This is Desi.
Because we walk our dog, and we're gonna explain that in a second. But a friend of ours invited us to be on a podcast, and we've said no to opportunities for a lot of years, and we said yes to this one. And you know what? We found out we really enjoyed it. We inspired some people by telling our journey, and so it kind of pushed us towards doing this. And the other thing is we currently have a real estate team right now of 78 agents in 6 states, and we love them all, and we're continuing to grow, and we want to inspire. We want to share our journey. We want to share how at 52 years old, for years now, we've been financially independent. Our assets cover all of our expenses, and we have residual income, and we're helping others acquire the same.
Sorry, my dog is zigzagging. It's so funny.
They can't see the dog. So this is going to be a couple of different formats, okay? This is video, obviously, so we'll do a YouTube channel. We want Sunday Walks with Jeff and Lynn to be a podcast. Somebody's in my spot up there that I was planning on going to, so we'll go this way. And we may make it into a blog as well. We might transcribe that. So I think I mentioned we've been thinking about doing this for a long time. What's it been, like 10 years?
It's been at least 10 years. And on these great walks, we see some pretty impactful things. And we're like, oh my gosh, that is so amazing. We could do this with our business or that with our business. And then we get home after a 2.5 hour walk, and we're like, what did we talk about? That might be.
Yeah, sometimes it's like inspiration and collaboration, right? It's like, oh, that was good. I wish we would have captured that. So that led to the conversation, we should do a podcast. We should record our Sunday walks. Some things are going to be good, some things are going to be bad. You know what? We want your permission to be our authentic selves, because that's the only way we really know how to be. So sometimes we fight, sometimes we overtalk each other, sometimes we're so energetic and we're so excited and we're both talking at the same time that it appears like we're fighting. And so people from the outside would be like, boy, that marriage is doomed.
That marriage is doomed. Yes, Jeff, when he gets really excited, gets really loud. And so it is funny to watch people's faces when they're going by, but I'm like...
Why are you pushing me?
Oh, I don't know, to get on the path, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, it's all right.
Anyway, see, there it is. There's a great example of it. But anyway, we didn't think about this with the dog, you guys.
Yeah, we did.
No,
there she is. She's cute. She's the reason we're doing this. Why don't you tell them what started these Sunday walks?
Okay, so what started these Sunday walks and why this is so important to us and why we want to talk with you on these walks is because when we started these walks,
you're fine. Keep talking.
It was the last recession. The last recession, we had 60 properties. Jeff was teaching people how to invest in real estate. We were helping people build a portfolio. And all of a sudden, our market crashed here. And I felt very alone. And Jeff felt very alone. And we started taking these walks. We got away from the house, got away from the office, got away from the phones. And what we realized during those walks is we weren't alone. We were both going through, and we had our own story, and we were both seriously struggling. And so when we went on these walks, you guys, it didn't matter if it was pouring down rain, it was snowing, whatever, this little dog got us out on those walks. Yep. And sometimes those walks would end up being 5-hour walks. So we would talk about, okay, what properties do we have?
Let me just mention that she's 14 years old, and she gets around so well because she gets so many walks.
And I think she gets around so well because she gets great energy from her mom and dad, and she gives us great energy. And so anyway, that is how these walks started, and this dog literally saved our marriage, because I don't know if you remember how many marriages failed, how many people decided you know, they just couldn't make it. We watched people's businesses fail. We watched people fail, and these walks saved us. And all of a sudden, we became a collaboration together instead of alone. And so that's why these are so very important, and they got us through. Yes, we would have a great idea, and we would go implement it, and it wouldn't work. So we would go on another walk. We'd come up with another great idea, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But that is literally what.
So here's just a little bit more detail on why that downturn was so hard on us, is because we had been working our whole lives building a real estate portfolio, right? In 2005, we had a portfolio of 60 properties. We thought we had really arrived, right? And we just were riding 05, 06, 07, thinking, oh my gosh, look at our equity, look at our cash flow, we've done so well. And then 2008 hit. So when we say it saved our marriage, it saved us as partners and everything, it's because we went through some tough times, right? And we struggled to maintain, sorry, I'm gonna flip this around real quick. We struggled to maintain what we had worked so hard to build, and we thought we were gonna lose it all. I'm gonna turn this around so you can just see this beautiful, oh no, I think that just took a picture.
Well,
I don't know how to turn it around, so
we
let
live
me
in
do
a
this.
beautiful place called Draper, Utah, and we have built our portfolio, our businesses all in Utah, and we're super passionate about it here. We're passionate about our community. We love the people that live in this community, and we just love to walk in it every Sunday and enjoy it, because if you look at it, we're surrounded by these gorgeous mountains. Everything's so green, and it's just, we have great seasons here too.
Okay, so that's what we're doing. This is Sunday Walks with Jeff and Lynn, and we're gonna kind of tell a little bit of our story. What do I want to talk about next?
I don't know what you want to talk about next. The reasons why we're doing this. So we recently went on our very first podcast. So Jeff and I we've been, oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right.
All right, well.
But
I'll
tell why you liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell from my perspective. So what has happened is that we've always kind of talked about our story. We knew we had a story, but we didn't know how amazing our story was until we started kind of getting it out there. And people were asking, hey, we want you to go on podcasts. We want you to talk about your experiences. And we're like, oh, we really don't have anything great or impactful to say, right? We're used to inspiring people on a one-on-one level, but not on a group level. And so once we realized that actually we do have a story, and we joined, we're real estate agents. I don't know, we didn't say that, but we are real estate agents. And we joined a brokerage that actually helped us create a team of agents. And it's unlike anything we'd ever seen before, but it allows us to build people, change lives, but not have all the liability of having a huge building and everything else. But what we realized was that we want to help inspire them and help them grow, and that's why.
Said a different way, it's not about us anymore. We've reached a certain point in our life where giving back and pouring into other people's really give us joy, happiness. And fortunately, we're in a position that we can do that, right? So our eXp Realty team that we mentioned has kind of changed our perspective on sharing and pouring into others. And that's part of what this is for as well.
Absolutely. And feeding feeding their buckets is actually feeding our buckets. Because
feeding or filling?
Feeding and filling. And we did that with tenants. I did it with tenants. So what we would do, our company was called New Start Properties. I think you'll absolutely love the concept that Jeff and I had. So we wanted to give the property and people a new start, which was absolutely, it was wonderful, and it made me feel like I was helping people. But what I didn't realize, you guys, being raised by a military man, I didn't realize that not everybody was super clean, and not everybody liked to maintain where they live. So I fastly learned that I needed to be a little more particular about the people that I put in. But our company, New Start, was about helping those that actually needed a new start. And so it fulfilled that need for me to help people.
So we're going to share that kind of along this journey with you. Weekly, we have different things that happen, right? Different events. It's like, wow, that was impactful. We should share that. And so in doing that, we will also interject, like Lynn's talking about, how we got where we are. We're not going to just start at how we met at 21 years old and where we went from there and tell you this storyline start to finish, but we will interject our experiences and things that we think will be unhelpful. And there's going to be shit that happens too, right? There's stuff that goes bad in our lives, but we learn from that as well, hopefully. So here's what to expect. If you're interested, we're going to do this. It's called Sunday Walks with Jeff and Lynn, right? We're going to do this every Sunday, and we're just going to record our thoughts for the week, our inspiration, things that we can share, part of our journey, things that we think would be helpful for other people. And we might be here in Draper. Next week, we're going to be in Sparks, Nevada, visiting our grandkids, so we'll be there. So I'm not sure where we'll shoot from. For those of you that are listening, doesn't really matter. But for those of you that are on YouTube channel watching, just kind of see our beautiful environment. That's one thing we do every single day. We're just so grateful. We want you guys to be grateful and think abundance and bring it into your lives, because we feel, going back to the inception of Sunday Walks concept, is we were in a scarcity mindset for a long time, and we were worried about losing everything. We were not in an abundance mindset where we're going to figure this out. Act as if the solution is within our reach. And once we did that, everything changed. And we credit this little puppy right here. She's not going to be with us forever, but every time we look at her, she's the one that got us outside and going on these walks. And it wasn't intentional. It just happened. And we want to share that journey with you. So any final thoughts? We love you all.
And one thing I wanted to add when Jeff's talking about abundance, one thing that really, and I talk to people about this all the time, is that one thing that actually changed a lot was when we started looking at the mountains as we were walking home, and we were like, oh my gosh, how lucky are we that we can see those mountains? And so if you think about the things that you actually do have, instead of the things that you don't have, or the things that you're struggling with, if you think about, my family's healthy, I have healthy kids, or I'm healthy, I can see, I can walk. That shift from not being happy where you're at to being grateful, it changes everything. It changes your perspective on everything.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about striving towards financial independence. We're going to talk about our marriage. I mean, it's us. We're real. We're authentic. We're transparent. What you see is what you get. We really don't pull any punches. So if we're not in as good a mood as we are as launching this podcast, and you might hear a little bit of frustration, that's just life. That's just life, and we all get frustrated, but we have to get through it. And I think if we kind of band together, that we can do it together.
Well, and I think when we say talk about our marriage, we're not necessarily talking about our marriage. We're actually talking about how do we work together,
relationships,
how do we get through things together, and hopefully inspire. Because as we've been going out and talking with people, I can't tell you how many couples have gone from here to here, and literally it hasn't been that long, but they're watching how we're working together, and they're saying, you know what, I want that. And
Absolutely.
So that's inspirational to watch these couples just come together, isn't it?
Yep. So I hope you enjoy this. It was just kind of a little introduction on what we're going to be doing. So maybe join us next Sunday, because we will be going on another walk. So join us on Sunday Walks with Jeff and Lynn. See ya.